Hey everybody, this is Muffin with the Daily Biker Podcast. Just here to let y'all know the opinions and ideas expressed in this show are those of the hosts and their guests, not to be confused with their partners and sponsors. Now, let's get it on.
Hey guys, this is Sean from the Bikes and Beards YouTube channel, and you guys are listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You're gonna love it.
Good. That is quite a bit.
Yes, I think we should be able to be okay with that.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, especially the way we were talking about doing it on timing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
But anyways. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Biker Podcast. My name is Marcus. I'm your clueless leader. Today, we're going to go on a learning journey. I have Miss Muffin.
Hi, y'all.
And I have Daniel.
Hey there.
And I want to preface this episode. So the next several episodes are going to be educational. Is that what we call it?
Informational.
Informational and educational
Yeah,
and comical. So
we do what we can.
please enjoy the next several episodes that we do. Today we're doing the history of BMW. This could end up being a 2-part episode, but after that we do have the history, this novel right in front of me.
Yeah.
The history of Yoshimura.
Which is entertaining because we both basically have novels of information.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to clarify though why this is happening.
Okay.
So,
Why is this happening, Marcus?
Why is this happening?
Inform me.
In 6 days, unless he decides to show up sooner.
Which is a distinct possibility.
Correct. In 6 days, Daniel will be a dad. Round of applause. Woo! So, because that and Christmas
And New Year. It's the holiday
and New Year's,
season.
yeah. We are getting a bunch of these together. We are dedicating ourselves to sitting down for several hours to do these. So we hope y'all enjoy the next series. As soon as the baby's here, and Daniel sends me a text message, I will put something on our Facebook about baby Nathan has arrived and is healthy and all that good stuff. So, but otherwise, still send us your messages. We'll still see those. But I'm going to give Daniel a break from Marcus.
Oh, thank God. I can't tell you how amazing that sounds. Wonderful.
Let's get started with the history of BMW.
I'm so excited for this Christmas season. I know there's a baby coming, but that's the best gift you could have got. Don't even bother buying me anything this year.
Okay.
Don't worry, I don't have anything for you either. So,
I've got a child coming.
yeah, that's me and Stephanie's gifts to everybody this year.
The baby.
There is a baby,
The baby.
Yes.
the little baby.
Where do we start, Daniel? What is the history of BMW?
Well,
Well,
so BMW itself founded in 1916. The Over company.
Is its current name, is that its original name?
No,
Okay.
it changed names in 1917.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask.
Well, no, it
'cause-
was still BMW. Well, it was BFW.
Well, I'd heard at one point that Bavarian Motorworks was not always their name.
Started in 1917. That was their name.
Okay.
In 1916, they were only making airplanes. They were making airplane engines. So
Airplanes, what? We're talking about the motorcycle company, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But the founding of the parent company to BMW Motorrad.
Was BMW Flight Works?
Yes. Bayersch Flugzeug Work AG.
there's a mouthful.
Gesundheit.
And then in 1917, it was renamed to what we know now. It was BFW. Now it's BMW because
So-
they were making motors. We went public in 1918.
Yes.
So in the beginning,
Dun, dun, dun.
in the beginning, they were manufacturing airplanes and were supplying small engines to other companies.
What? So, but they just made the airplane engine.
They were making the airplane engines.
They
yes.
didn't build the airplane.
They were making engines.
So, similar to how Rolls-Royce
Was making engines and not the
Right.
whole airplane. Yes.
Well, Rolls-Royce was making engines for planes and tanks.
Correct.
Yeah.
And BMW did that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
We've always heard about the airplane stuff. We haven't heard about.
they apparently they also manufactured train brakes, braking systems for trains.
Okay.
Which, you got to think turn of the century manufacturing.
Not a whole lot to manufacture.
If you manufacture things, you probably manufacture everything.
Yeah.
Right. So
Cell phones.
the first 1918 cell phone.
Well, you said turn of the century. That just happened 25 years ago.
That is true. That is true. So they were also manufacturing. So at the end of World War One, the Treaty of Versailles basically told BMW you can't build any aircraft engines anymore.
Okay.
So to remain in business, they started producing small industrial engines.
Tank
So
engines. You can't build aircraft engines no more because of the war. Okay.
yeah.
We shall be tank engines.
So they were building, farm equipment. They were still building stuff for trains because they could do that because that's not a military. You couldn't be put into a military service.
So does this mean where you are, BMW is planes, trains, and automobiles?
Yes,
I mean, yeah.
they are planes, trains, and automobiles.
Okay. Okay.
And in addition to the more house, farm equipment, things like that, they were also manufacturing I want to say it was a 298cc Boxer engine that was being sold to Helios and a couple other motorcycle manufacturers at the time. So, and I know we talked about this in the Harley Davidson episode, and when we've gone back and looked at the early prior to 1930, there were a lot of motorcycle manufacturers out there. The main company may have made the frame, but they bought the source the engine from somebody else, or they made engines and bought frames from somebody else.
I can't imagine a time where a manufacturer would outsource everything like that. I don't know of anyone that would do something like that in today's age.
No, I don't think that's ever happened.
That's crazy.
So they were selling them to Victoria and Helios were the two main companies that they were selling, and they were Boxer twins.
So I've heard of Victoria.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Victoria. I've heard of Victoria. I've never heard of Helios. So.
Well, there's a reason why you wouldn't have heard of Helios.
Okay.
Because they bought them. BMW acquired them to start making their own motors. So 1920, they were building the engines.
Yep.
This is right after the war.
Yep.
Building these engines, selling them to other companies. In 1923, BMW had bought Helios.
Okay.
So they had the frame and all the other parts manufacturing. BMW brought their engine. So 1923 was the first official BMW motorcycle.
Or as they call it, motard.
Motorrad.
Which is also prior to them making a car.
Yes.
This is a motorcycle podcast.
Yeah.
And we just want to clarify for all the BMW car people, Daniel is also a BMW car person. This is before cars.
So the first BMW motorcycle was the R32. I figured you'd get a kick out of that.
Tokyo Drift and some BMW motorcycle here.
Apparently, and I've seen an R32 in person. Actually, we both have, being down. They have
one at Barber.
They have one at Barber. So the Victoria and the Helios motorcycles, that engine was mounted transversely, so the cylinders went this way.
Oh, that's just wrong.
So what BMW did, they mounted it longitudinally, so the cylinders were going out to either side.
Well, it makes sense. because of where, I guess technically the other way, you can run like a primary.
Well, that's exactly how, because I looked at some pictures of those
I feel like
Helios
that
and
would look
Victoria
really weird.
motorcycle. It basically came out to a primary on one side that ran, a chain ran back.
Yeah.
So this way, turning them longitudinally is what we see on BMW Boxers today.
Right.
Big cylinder jug sticking out on either side and a drive shaft going back. So it actually, in their first one in 23, had a solid drive shaft, no chain or belt.
No gears.
No, it did. It did have gears.
Okay.
Because it went into a gearbox.
Oh, okay.
Gearbox was mounted at the back of the engine, and then went into a drive shaft.
And I've seen that setup.
Yes.
It's a drive shaft to a transmission.
Correct.
And then a drive shaft out for drive.
Well, it was.
I've seen that before.
Oh yeah, yeah. The BMW just mounted it straight to the engine. It was flange mounted to the engine itself with a solid drive shaft going back to the rear wheel.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why it says 198 cc here and it says 298 over here. I'm going to assume that's a typo, because this one actually came from BMW themselves, so they probably put a typo in their own information.
Yeah, there's a lot of typos in the in the work I did.
So it was still the 298 cc unit.
Okay.
Whopping 8.5 horsepower for 1923. Had a top speed of about 60 miles per hour, or 100 kilometers per hour.
That is a big, heavy motorcycle for 8.5 horsepower.
But it was very popular because the shaft drive didn't need any maintenance.
Yeah.
There was no belt. There was no gear. Nothing was exposed but the shaft. It didn't wear out. It didn't break until it did. If it did, you're done. Good luck.
Yeah.
So, trying to figure out which page I've got information on both that are kind of like some has more information than the other. So, in 1925, they started to do single cylinder engines, just your traditional singles. That was the BMW R37.
Okay.
Which only ran from 25 to 26. And it was their sporty model.
Ooh.
The twin cylinder was just their run-of-the-mill motorcycle.
Yeah.
And the R37 was basically one of the cylinders off of the R32.
So that's the single cylinder bike.
Yes.
Okay.
They also had the R39, which was a single cylinder at that same time period. Apparently, the R37, the R32, and the R39 were very popular, utilized in racing at the time.
Okay.
Simplistic engines. I have hill climb. Solid. Competed at the Solitude racetrack in Southwest Germany, wherever that is.
That's where you race by yourself. It's in Southwest Germany, but it's where you race by yourself.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I would hope so.
Yeah.
What?
So from that period on, there's really a few they started kind of from 25 to 1930. They had the one boxer engine.
Yep.
And they did a bunch of singles.
Okay.
They went up to a 250 single. Then they had a 200 single, 200cc single. Then up to a 400cc single in 1932. They kind of fizzled out of the single cylinders in the early 30s, going back to the boxer twins.
Yeah.
So in 1930, the R11 was debuted, which was a 750cc Boxer twin.
So their numbers aren't running currently where we're at in time. Their numbers aren't running with displacement sizes.
No, they're not. And because I was going back, and I've never gone back this far into BMW. Like everybody knows, like the R75.
So it started confusing you too.
It confused me because it's like, all right, why did we start with an R32 and what? Now we're going to an R11. You should go
and that's
up.
where I was like earlier. You were like the 32, and then they make a single from that,
and it's a 37,
and it's like what? It should be an 18.
Trust me, I tried to figure it out as I was going through, and I was like, all right, I'm not even going to try to keep up with their naming.
Yeah.
BMW's naming doesn't actually get direct to what the engine is until really the /5s in the 60s.
And then they got away from it again in recent times.
And well, no, they actually got better because now they just put the engine size in the name.
but they were doing it with their cars too, though.
Yes.
And now they don't do it with their cars.
Now they don't do it with their cars anymore. Yeah, it's a 325 with a inline 4.
Yeah, you used to find like someone had a 318 or a 325 or a 330.
Yeah, it was a 1.8 liter, a 2.5. If it had an I on it, it was fuel injected.
Yeah. If it had a C, it was a convertible. So
if there was a D, it was diesel.
Yeah.
If
it had an X, it was
all-wheel drive. Yeah. So BMW came out in 1930, the R11, 750cc. Shortly after that, 1935, they came out with the BMW R12 and R17.
Well, we have an R12.
We do. That's what the current one is based on. That same. However, it's interesting because the R12 and R17 were the first motorcycles in 1935 to have hydraulically dampened telescopic forks.
And these would be what you would imagine when you picture in your mind what a 1930s BMW looks like.
Correct. Yeah.
This is what the R18 is based on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you were to look at an R18 and imagine that was made in the 30s, that's this. Which it's funny because they had the R12 and the R17. They never made an R18 up until now, I don't think. I don't remember seeing one.
They've just skipped numbers.
They just skipped numbers. So crazy. In 1937, Ernest Henn recorded a top speed of 279.5 kilometers per hour on a BMW 500cc supercharged R12, which is 173 miles per hour.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Now, it was supercharged. And they really, BMW, I noticed this going throughout. They were involved in a lot of small racing as far as their motorcycles were involved in concerned.
Yeah.
But there really isn't a lot of racing pedigree on their bikes compared to the cars.
I was going to say until probably the mid 80s.
Yeah, that's where you have the Paris-Dakar racing.
I was going to say then they get into the car.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
And really everything here is, well, a couple of them are just, you have a guy that owns a BMW motorcycle and he's happens to race it. But then again, in the 1930s, 20s, there really isn't huge difference between motorcycle manufacturers in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a single or a twin of some variation.
Yeah, well, that's like what we watched, that video where it's the 1938 Harley versus the 1938 Indian.
Yeah.
99% of that motorcycle is the same.
Yeah.
So the BMW R71, which came out in the late 30s, this is the predecessor to what everybody thinks of the R75, the military bike. So the R71 was a 746cc, came out in the late 30s.
Oh, they're getting a lot closer.
Yes. It was, they only manufactured 2,600 of them, apparently.
Okay.
The production halted due to the beginning of World War II.
Okay.
BMW kind of gets screwed by the war multiple times.
Well,
Multiple wars.
yeah, because where they're at, like,
Yeah.
they're in the middle of it.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, well, it's not like Harley Davidson or Indian.
Yeah, they were in the war. Like,
Right.
the war was happening on their doorstep.
Correct.
And actually, a majority of those ended up getting copied or taken by the Russians. And that's where we have the Urals.
Okay.
The Denper M72 and the Ural are basically a BMW R71. They're not based on the R75.
Okay.
And Russia continued to produce those, and they still do.
Yeah.
Ural still exists. It's just now fuel injected.
Yeah. But you can fight better in Russia with your euro.
You know, I did find it funny. So this is direct from BMW, and the other ones I have are from other sources.
Yeah.
BMW goes from 1939 to 1969. And there's no information about what BMW.
Like BMW skipped?
Yes, BMW skipped.
But what would have happened around 1939 that would cause them to skip history?
Like, they don't start talking again until the 50s, basically.
I would say that they got in a fight with Indiana Jones.
That is.
But they didn't.
They were on Hondas.
Right. Made to look like old BMWs.
Which, BMW, you don't have to be embarrassed of your own history. It's okay. We all know the war happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't.
We know what happened.
Yeah.
But you do have some history for that time period.
Yes, I do. Because I had to go to a different source.
You should submit it to BMW. Be like, hey, you for some reason omitted this section.
I don't know why, when you have your 100 years of motorcycling, because they did a big deal in 2023, 100 years of BMW motorcycles. Just that period from 39 to basically 50 doesn't exist. But in all reality, though, it's kind of boring. Because the only thing BMW made during that time period was R75s. They were 750 cc's, boxer twin, and they all came with sidecars.
They had two different color options.
Yeah, it was either black or green. Or tan.
Tan.
Oh, they probably did have three different color options. It's not black, actually.
It's like a gray color.
It's a really dark gray color. So, but Harley did that same thing.
Well,
Harley made gray WLAs for the military.
mm-hmm.
Those were naval issue.
Didn't Harley make the blue ones too?
Or
that might have been an Indian.
I think the blue might be Indian. I feel like I've seen a blue Harley, but as far as I know, they were green or gray.
Which makes sense.
If it was all gray, it was like used like on Navy bases.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, the standard color that they came out, the R75s was gray, unless they were going to North Africa and they were tan.
That makes sense.
If they were going to North Africa, they were tan. And then there was green ones.
Yes.
Green did exist.
Yes.
But, there's no production numbers on each
But
color.
not like current BMW green.
No. Like, this is out of
Flat military
Yeah,
green.
flat.
flat military green.
Because I feel like current BMW green would be like dragonfly green
Yes.
with heavy metal flake.
Lots of heavy metal flake. So apparently, the R75 inspired similar models from U.S. manufacturers such as Indian, the 841, and Harley, the XA. I don't know what the I didn't look up either of those.
Let me look up the Harley XA.
That I saw that and I made a note of it in there and I was like, I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think I know what the XA is.
That I have no idea.
No.
So it's Some sort of military bike.
Which
Oh,
sense.
that is the Boxer engine Harley.
okay, is that what that is?
Yes.
I didn't know it was called the XA
There's
though.
literally an article here says the great grandfather of the Pan America.
Has good genes.
Which we've seen
genes.
an XA.
Yeah, we have.
We've seen a couple XAs, including the XA Trike.
Yes. Yeah, we
And the
have.
XA Trike uses the same hub and wheels and tires from the Willys. Mm-hmm. So they can
Yep.
use wheels and tires from Willys.
So BMW's production from 39 to 45 was essentially just R37s or R75, sorry,
Which are 750 cc's?
R750 cc's. They'd been using the same engine that they had already had.
Yeah.
Just it was a known quantity, like what the military likes.
Yep.
Something that just works.
Yep.
And they were pretty much all sidecar motorcycles.
Yep.
So 45.
Were those two-wheel drive?
Yes, they were 2-wheel drive.
Okay.
They had
Like the Ural.
Like the Ural, they had you could normally when you ran it, it was just the wheel on the motorcycle, but there was a lever that connected the drive shaft to the hub.
Well, yeah, because when they went to the desert to look for the stuff like the artifacts and everything,
Yeah, like the Ark of the Covenant.
and I'm going to say this
And I think the Holy Grail was there too.
because it sounds crazy, but if you hadn't studied a lot of World War II history,
They did actually do that.
they did actually do that.
Yeah, no, they did.
We lost, I think they said at one point in time, we lost 40% of the great art from history due to being seized by the Nazis. And we only got back like 20% of what they stole. Not 20% of the whole,
20% of what they stole.
20% of what they stole.
Yeah.
So there's stuff that's still missing and they don't know where it's at. And we're pretty sure it's in a Foot Locker in Venezuela.
A lot of it probably is. And unless you're talking about the Amber Room from St. Petersburg, which that's still a mystery. It was a room made of amber that just
I've heard
See
disappeared.
my face over here.
Yeah.
Because there's some that say, no, we found it, we're keeping it secret. But then it's like, there's others that are like, no, they didn't actually find it.
No one's ever found. That would be, if you found it, people would know.
Yeah.
But so 1945, the war is in Europe is over.
Yeah.
We're now in the occupational period. As many of you probably know, and if you don't, Germany got divided into two halves. You had East and West Germany. You also had East and West Berlin.
Yeah, they built a wall.
They built a wall
For you that are born,
after the year 1995.
yeah, I was going to say, like, for those of you listening to this, and it pains me to say this, that were born post 9/11,
Oh God.
you probably really don't. I mean, you barely know 9/11 because of people talking about it, but you probably really don't know about tear down that wall.
Gorbachev, tear down. Yep.
Yep.
So the Russians, the Soviets, controlled East Germany, and the Allies, United States, England, France, controlled West Germany. That's how it was divided up. BMW.
Yeah, West Germany was free Germany, right?
West Germany was free Germany.
Yeah, the other Germany was like full of like
Communist Germany.
spies and
Yes.
because there's that at the beginning of what's that movie? The new one that has
Are you talking about the Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
yeah, the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
Because it starts with him crossing the wall.
Yep. And going back over.
Yeah,
I knew exactly when you're talking about crossing the wall. I know what movie.
yeah,
So BMW's only manufacturing facility was in East Germany.
Russian controlled it.
Russian controlled East Germany, and it had been bombed multiple times naturally, we were bombing manufacturing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we bombed BMW's manufacturing. We bombed Wolfsburg.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, that's what you do during a war.
yeah,
Get rid of the manufacturing. So the only plant that existed for BMW was in East Germany, and they continued R35 and R75 motorcycles as reparations to the Russians. So they were basically manufacturing them for Russian control.
okay.
They couldn't sell them to individuals, but they could sell them to the Russians or give them to the Russians, and the Russians would basically pay for the parts.
I just want to say this, okay? Anybody listening to this has Russian heritage, understand I'm not talking about you. I know Russian people, and they're fantastic people. Like Russian people that, when I say they're Russian people, I grew up with people, the neighborhood we were in, all went to elementary school, middle school, high school together. All the kids were born in Russia. Like, they came here when the youngest one in the family was like 4 years old. So they were Russian, okay?
Yeah.
The only thing manufactured halfway decent in Russia is vodka. They would even, the cars are crap.
But they also run forever for whatever reason, because they're very simple. Like,
yeah. I do. Well, I can't think of the name of it. There is a Soviet era car that you can still get, and you can get in the States, and there's some in the States.
and it's the exact same as it was built in the 50s, 60s.
So, to clarify for anyone that has played PUBG,
I mean, Zastava makes cars.
it's the little hatchback
Yes.
that's in
The
PUBG.
little Yugo.
It looks like a Yugo, but it's actually,
I know it's
actually all-wheel drive.
it's like a Zaz or something like that.
That's the car that Jeremy drove and almost drove into the creek.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
I can't think of the
can't
name of the
think of the
manufacturer.
name of
I know the manufacturer, and I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Let's see here. Oh,
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
drive.
When he says it, though, it's going to be
It's
immediate.
gonna light bulb. Yeah.
The Lada Nivea.
Lada.
Okay.
Yes. And they still manufacture it. It looks the exact same. It hasn't changed. It's probably the same,
Yeah.
pig iron engine that was in it.
So actually, in the past couple of years, they have updated.
Have they? Does it have halogen headlights now? The candles burned out?
So this is an original Lada.
Yes.
Lada.
Yep.
Okay. This is the new one.
Okay. It's still
literally
basically.
just looks like an updated version of the original.
It looks
Yeah,
like an
pretty much.
AI generated version of the original.
I just asked you to Google Lada Niva. Ladaniva. But they are like pretty tough little cars. I actually looked up, because there's some in the States, to see how much they are, and they're actually like 15 to 20 grand.
Yeah, because you can't get them.
Yeah.
In the United States, there is a ban on any import from Russia. That's actually really badass. You know what that kind of reminds me
drive
of?
that.
Like a little geo tracker.
It made me, like, when I saw it, I was like, I wonder what other little tiny hatchback all-wheel drive cars actually exist. Because I was like, that was the thing. I was like, they're not beast. I was like, but that would be just a fun little car to have.
That would be fun to have.
But it made me think of a different vehicle, and I was like, oh, there's an idea, and I won't talk about it on
Yeah.
air because I don't want to spoil that one.
So BMW had their one plant in East Germany at the time. They also took over a plant in Munich in West Germany. So they were both using the BMW name, but they were separate companies.
Okay.
They were the same company, but they were separate because at the time, East and West could not talk to each other. With the tensions between the Allies and Russia, they were, for all intents and purposes, two separate companies. So going between the period of 1948 to 1952, the head office for BMW was in Munich, and they had no control over what East Germany did. Couldn't control any of it. So East Germany was still producing the R75, R35 for Russia. And then they ended up getting into a lawsuit with themselves, which is hilarious.
You're not supposed to be making that.
So after the lawsuit in 1952, the East German facility had to change their name to EMW.
Okay.
And because they were both at the same time using the blue and white roundel, like you see on BMWs now.
What's that, Eastern Motor Works?
No, it's the name of where the plant was located in East Germany.
Okay.
Eisenacher. Eisenach. And so instead of they were BMW, they went to Eisenacher Motorwerken, EMW. They were using the blue and white rondel. After that, they switched to a red and white logo. So if you ever see BMW cars with the red and white logo, that would be East Germany, not West Germany.
Interesting.
Which I found was because you see a lot of people put the red and white logos on their cars. Mm-hmm. But that's the origination of the red and white.
I feel like that would be East Germany would be the like the Soviet run BMW would be the one that built the BMW clown car.
The Isetta?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I want to say that was actually West Germany.
What's free Germany thinking?
Yeah. So the Munich factory was the only West German facility that was even able to operate post-war. Everything else had basically been destroyed during the bombings. They weren't allowed to make motorcycles up until 1947 in West Germany. Because the treaties post-war basically said, nope, you can't do anything. What they basically had, because West Germany was not the headquarters for BMW at the time, they had to basically start from scratch. BMW started over in 45.
I want to ask this question. Did this clarify at all the logo?
Yeah, the blue
and white. Remember their question.
It does not say where the logo originated.
Oh, man.
It just talks about the color, and that's the only section where it talks about the color, the separation between BMW and EMW in East and West Germany.
Okay.
That's the only time they ever talk about the logo. Now, I'm sure if I went into main BMW history, there's a conversation about the logo.
Okay. Keep going.
So 1947, West Germany, real BMW.
Yep.
Started production again. So the first one that they produced was in 1948, and it was the R24. Once again, jumping around numbers. They were at an R75, they had an R71, they had an R32, they went back to an R24. And it was reverse engineered from a pre-war BMW R32 motorcycle and powered by a 247cc single-cylinder engine.
So they went backwards, but they got the number right.
They did get the number right. Yeah, it actually makes sense. It was also made without a rear suspension. It was a hardtail motorcycle.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
And they made this motorcycle from 47 to 1950, only made 17,000 units. Only 17,000.
Only 17.
But that was the only motorcycle they were allowed to make.
Oh.
Well,
They couldn't make anything else in West Germany until 1950. In 1950, the flat twin, the Boxer twin, was restarted.
Ooh.
and on that bombshell.
Hey everybody, this is Sean at White Lightning Harley Davidson. I want to thank you for listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You can reach the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at The Daily Biker, or you can email the podcast at thedailybiker@gmail.com. Be sure to keep an eye on White Lightning Harley Davidson social media pages for the most up-to-date information on all our events and where you can find the boys.